Hello and welcome all of you to Unacademy. Unacademy is undoubtedly India's largest education platform that has helped thousands of students across the country to crack toughest of examinations with top educators, quality content, not to forget the great learning experience. If you are already on Unacademy, then I'm pretty sure you are aware about the unlimited access to live and recorded courses from India's best educators. Well, then, let me welcome all of you on Unacademy once again. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Tasneem Ahmed and I have completed my master's and MPhil in English. I have also been certified in TESOL. I have trained 1,000 plus students and I also have 8 years of professional experience. Therefore, be rest assured you are in good hands. In this video, we will be learning about the noun number. To know more about the noun number, stay patient a little while until I give you a little extra information about what you will get on Unacademy. Well, on Unacademy, you do get daily live classes, you get live tests and quizzes where you can evaluate your preparation, you get structured courses, and you get unlimited access to all our live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of any of your devices. All you have to do is buy one subscription and get the access to free live classes and prepare with top educators and get the comprehensive syllabus of mathematics, social science, Hindi, science, and of course, English. Well, you can also talk to us on Telegram application. All you have to do is download the Telegram application, type the link in URL, which is here, and then click on join and you will be directed straight to the educators. One last thing, which is installing the application, that is Unacademy Learning application on your device, be it your tab or your mobile. You can download it and then finally go ahead and buy the subscription. That is, there are a number of subscriptions available for 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, and 48 months. But I wouldn't ask you people to buy any of these. Instead, I would advise go for a course with the maximum amount of discount, which is 67% discount if you buy a 48 months course. Supposing if you are a ninth grader, then this is best suitable for you. Go ahead with a course for 48 months and you'll get a 67% off discount. Not just that. If you type the code TA01, yes, remember the code TA01, you get additional 10% off discount, which means you will be availing this course for 4 years just for 36,000 rupees only. 36,000 rupees for 4 months is not a big amount at all, especially for your education, definitely not. But if it still looks too much for you, break it down on a monthly basis. For a month, you will only be paying 750 rupees. If it still looks too much, break it down on a daily basis. You will only be paying 25 rupees a day. Does it look too much? 25 rupees a day for next 4 years, that too investing into your education? Certainly not. Therefore, if you are a ninth grader, hurry up, go ahead and buy the subscription, pay money for 48 months. If you cannot avail this, if you cannot pay 36,000 in one go, then go for an EMI option, wherein you will only be paying 750 rupees for a month and 25 rupees for a day. If you are a ninth grader, go for this plan. And if you are a 10th grader, then go for a 36 months option where you will get 64% off. And with the code, you get additional 10% and you will only be paying 800 rupees for a month. And for 3 years subscription, you will be paying 28,800 rupees only. Remember to type the code TA01, which is going to give you extra 10% on the existing discount available. That is 64% plus extra 10%, and you will be able to buy this course only for 800 rupees a month. Break it down on a daily basis, you will only be paying 27 rupees for a day, which is for your education for next 3 years, where you will get the access for all the courses, all the live classes and subscriptions, and all those doubts that you have. You can just clarify that just on a click. So do not wait. If you are a 10th grader, go ahead, buy the subscription today. When you proceed to pay, do not forget to type the code TA01 for that extra subscription, for that extra discount. So go ahead, buy today. Now let us proceed towards what we are going to be learning today. In today's video, we will be learning about the noun number. What do we mean by noun number, or what is noun number? When we say noun numbers, we are talking about singular and plural nouns. What is singular and plural again? Singular as in we are referring to one in number, that is single, and plural as in more than one. We are referring to more than one. This is called singular and this is called plural. For example, if you are referring to one pen, that is one single entity. We are referring to one pen, therefore pen. And supposing if you have two or more than two, then you say pens. All you do is you just add the letter S and you make it as your plural. Single, singular, more than one, you call it as plural by adding the letter S. That is your singular and plural. Quite easy, right? Well, not that easy as you think. There are a number of rules that you have to keep in your mind when you are converting your singular noun into a plural noun. The standard rule or the basic rule says add the letter S. When you have nouns, singular nouns, all you have to do is just add letter S and it becomes your plural. Tree, trees. Plant, plants. Bag, bags. Castle, castles. Home, homes. All you did was just add letter S and you were good to go. But it's not that easy. You have to take into many other things into consideration before you decide. There are many other rules that you have to remember and apply when you are converting a singular noun into plural. Well, I'm going to take you through each and every rule that we have out there, and I want you to remember them and memorize them, practice them, and learn them, and then apply them in your daily language, in your daily English, be it reading, writing, or speaking. Let us go to the rules straight away. Rule number one. Rule number one says, when you have singular nouns ending with any one of these, as in the ones which you see over here. Number one, S. Number two, SS, or SH, or CH, or X, or Z. When you have singular nouns ending with these words, then to convert these singular nouns into plural, you will have to add ES. That's correct. You will have to add ES to make these nouns as plural nouns. Let me give you the examples. Like I told you earlier, when a singular noun ends with letter S, you have to add ES to make it as a plural. Now you have bus ending with letter S and you add ES. Bus becomes buses. Lens becomes lenses. Lotus becomes lotuses. Well, I hope you also noticed the change in the pronunciation when you changed singular into plural. Bus becomes buses. Lens becomes lenses. Lotus becomes lotuses. You also should be mindful about the pronunciation of the words. So letter S takes ES. SS also takes ES, like class, classes, pass, passes, glass, glasses, Observe the way the pronunciation changes. When you have words ending with sh, they also take es. Dish becomes dishes, splash becomes splashes, brush becomes brushes. Remember, observe the pronunciation, how it changes into plural. Next one is when you have words ending with ch, as in church, churches, match, matches, bench, benches. Observe the way the pronunciation changes when you add es. So these are a few examples, and the next one being when the singular nouns end with the letter x, as in box, boxes, tax, taxes. Observe the pronunciation of the plural nouns here. Then you have buzz, buzzes, quiz, and quizzes. Does it ring a bell when I say quizzes? Where did you actually hear this word? Where did you come across the word quizzes? When I was actually giving you information about Unacademy. Remember, I told you that with Unacademy subscription, you do get access to live tests and quizzes. That is correct. That's where you heard the word quizzes. So there we have the words ending with S, SS, CH, SH, X, and Z take ES to convert themselves from singular to plural. So that is not rule number one. Now let us move on to rule number two. Rule number two says when singular nouns end with the letter O, you add ES. Remember, when the singular noun ends with O, you add es and you get your plural. Pretty simple. Hero, heroes. Volcano, volcanoes. Potato, potatoes. Buffalo, buffaloes. Mango, mangoes. Pretty easy, right? Observe the way the pronunciation changes there. Hero, heroes. Volcano, volcanoes. Potato, potatoes. Buffalo, buffaloes. Mango, mangoes. But there is an exception. There are a few words which, despite ending with letter O, do not take ES. Like piano, we just add letter S. We do not add ES, we just add S. Piano becomes pianos, kilo becomes kilos, photo becomes photos, ratio becomes ratios, stereo becomes stereos, logo becomes logos. Well, there is no particular rule behind why it takes ES or S, but then this is something that you have to know, remember, and use it over time. Practice enough and remember and not to forget. Next is when you have words ending with Y. That is, when you have words, singular nouns ending with Y, you will have to drop the Y and add IES. Remember this is a little bit lot to take, but then once you get practice, once you get enough of practice, it'll get easier. When you have a noun ending with Y, you drop the Y and you add IES and you convert them into your plural, and the pronunciation also changes. Baby becomes babies. Similarly, drop the Y here and add IES and it becomes armies. Army becomes armies. Similarly, story becomes stories. City becomes cities. So this is another rule that you have to remember. When a noun ends with the letter Y, drop the Y and add IES. But that's not the case always. There are a few words where, despite the singular noun ending with the Y, you do not drop the Y, but instead you keep it intact and you use the letter S and you apply the general rule over here. That is adding letter S, wherein it becomes toy, toys, boy, boys, radio, radios, day, days, monkey, monkeys, way, ways. Because there is a vowel in front of the letter Y. I hope you know what are vowels. Vowels are A, E, I, O, U. All these are our vowels, and all the other letters besides A, E, I, O, U are consonants. So the thing that you have to remember over here is if you have a word ending with a consonant, like the way in baby, you can see that the noun ends with Y, and before the Y you have a consonant. Therefore, you drop the Y and you add IES, babies. Similarly, you drop the Y because you have a consonant here and you add IES and you get your plural because you have a consonant. But in these words over here, you have a vowel. You have O, which is a vowel, O here again, and I here again, A, E, A. All these are your vowels. So when you have a vowel at the end, sorry, before the Y, then you do not drop the Y. Supposing if you have a consonant, you drop the Y. This is important for you to remember. When you have a vowel, you do not drop the Y, you keep it as it is, and you just apply the basic rule, that is adding S. And supposing if you have a consonant like in the word baby, you drop the Y and you add IES and you get a new word, that is babies, to make it as plural. Remember, if you have a vowel, no dropping Y. If you have a consonant, drop your Y and add S. Toy, toys, boy, boys, radio, radios, day, days, monkey, monkeys, way, ways. So this is your another rule. Moving on, we have nouns which end with F and FE. And the rule says drop the F and FE and add VES. That is like this. The word which is thief ending with F, you drop it and you add VES and you get a new word like thieves. Similarly, loaf ending with F, you drop the F and add VES and you get a new word, which is your plural as loaves. Similarly, you have wife, wherein the word ends with FE, you eliminate it and you add VES and you get a whole new word, which is wives. Well, there's one more thing which you have to keep in your mind. That is when you change singular to plural, the pronunciation changes altogether. Thief, where you apply the pronunciation of letter F, is totally eliminated over here. It becomes thieves. Similarly, loaf becomes loaves. Wolf becomes wolves. Knife becomes knives. Life becomes lives. So focus on the pronunciation as well. It's not just important to eliminate and bring in letters, but it is also important to focus on the pronunciation of the words as well. Thief is your singular, and thieves is your plural noun. So the formula says the rule says if you have a singular noun ending with F or FE, drop it and add VES and make it as your plural. But there are a few exceptions. There are a few words which do not actually follow this rule at all. They just follow the basic rule or the standard rule, which is just the addition of S. They do not drop F or FE for that matter. They just go ahead and take the letter S, like safe, saves, chief, chiefs, gulf, gulfs, chef, chefs, proof, proofs, cliff, cliffs. All these words do not drop F or FE. They just go ahead and take the letter S to make themselves as plural. There are other words as well, like scarf, dwarf, hoof, handkerchief, and wharf, which conform to both the rules, meaning they drop F and FE sometimes, and it is totally accepted, and they sometimes do not. They just go ahead and just take the addition of S. as in scarf. They drop the F and they take the ES, which is totally accepted by everybody. And again, they just do not sometimes, as in scarves. They just take the letter S, which is also correct, meaning these are totally accepted by everybody. Even if you write it as scarves, it is totally correct. And even if you write it as scarves, it is totally accepted. These are few words which actually conform to both the rules. You write it either way, it is totally accepted. Similarly, dwarf is dwarves and dwarfs. Hoof, hooves and hoofs. Handkerchiefs or handkerchiefs. Both are correct. Wharves or wharfs. Both are correct. Nothing is a mistake over here. Well, how would you remember these? Well, there is no such rule or no such formula. All you have to do is remember, memorize, and then apply it in your daily language. If supposing you come across a new word which you do not know whether to use VES or S or for any other rule, all you have to do is open your dictionary and try and learn and remember and use it. There is no set formula where you can just apply and follow the rules. These are some tricky words which you have to learn on your own. There won't be anybody coming and teaching you these. The moment you come across the new words, all you have to do is open your dictionary, figure out the plural, singular, and the kind of spelling that it takes. That's it. And you are good to go. Now let us move on to the next one, which is there are a few words which which they do not take S or ES or VES or IES. Nothing is taken, but instead the words within will change or they take EN at the end. Like ox is your singular, oxen is your plural, child is your singular, and then you have children. Foot, feet, man, men, mouse, mice, louse, lice, goose, geese, tooth, teeth, woman, women. Now over here you can see the changes on your own. Ox being singular, you added en, and child being singular, you added ren, and not just the word changed, but the pronunciation also changed. Child became children. Similarly, foot, we replaced double O into double E, and the pronunciation changed from foot to feet. Similarly, A was replaced by E, and the pronunciation was changed from man to men. Similarly, OUS was replaced by IC, and the pronunciation was changed from mouse to mice. The same goes with louse as well. Louse becomes lice, and goose. Double O has been replaced by double E, and goose becomes geese. Similarly, tooth becomes teeth, and woman becomes women with the change of A to E. So these are few words which change the vowel within, which you need to remember again. No formula for this either. You will have to learn and memorize and use them in your language. The next one that we have is the nouns which are pretty much same in both singular and plural. Like if you take the word sheep, singular, sheep, plural, also sheep. Deer, singular, deer, plural. Salmon, singular, salmon, plural. Similarly, aircraft, aircraft, dozen, dozen, fish, fish, fruit, fruit. However, fish and fruit can be used as fishes and fruits if you are referring to different types. As in, for example, assuming there is a basket and that basket has different types of fish in it. As in, there is tuna fish, there is codfish, there is trout, and then there is salmon. In one particular basket, you have all these collection of fishes. In this situation, you are in fact referring to different types of fishes. Therefore, it becomes your fishes. Supposing you have one basket and you have just tuna alone, or you have cod alone and no other fish in it, but then only one type, tuna or cod. In that particular situation, you refer that as fish and not fishes. Remember, fishes is used only when you refer to different types. Therefore, fish and fishes must be dealt with very carefully. The same goes with the fruit as well. Supposing there is a basket and that basket has only mangoes alone. In that situation, that's your singular fruit. And supposing there's another basket where you have apples, mangoes, strawberries, and pineapples all together in one basket. In that case, it becomes your fruits. So again, this also depends upon what you are trying to say. Fruits when there are different types. Fruit when you are referring to one singular type. So be mindful of these very minute errors. The next one is these. There are nouns which are always plural, or should I say they are born plural, like scissors, pants, shorts, trousers, tongs, glasses, spectacles. You may ask why. Well, the answer is they have two sections to them. They are not, even though they are one single entity, they have two sections. You can see over here, number one and number two. Therefore, they are always used as plural nouns. You can see number one, number two. Similarly, number one, number two. And for the tongs, you have number one and number two. So when you have these kind of nouns, they are always used as plural nouns, never in singularity. If supposing you use them in singularity, that is an error. Remember, that's an error that must be not done. Therefore, you use them only in plural formation. Even the verb that you use along with them is supposed to be plural. Therefore, remember these when you have two sections, they are always plural, like scissors, pants, shorts, trousers, tongs, glasses, and spectacles. Two sections are always plurals, even though they are one single entity. Next one, nouns which are always singular. They never will be converted into plural, and they will always be used as singular, like information, furniture, charity, kindness, honesty, knowledge, happiness, and sadness. Why do you think they are singular? Because they are abstract nouns and they do not have plural, and they are also uncountable nouns. And uncountable nouns also do not have plural to them. Therefore, they are always used as singular nouns. Remember, abstract nouns and uncountable nouns are always singular. The next one is compound nouns. How would you convert a compound noun into a plural noun? Well, a compound noun, first of all, has many, two or three words in it. Like, for example, teacher in charge. Now, this is one single word, even though there are different other words combined together, it is our compound noun. Now, in this situation, when you convert this noun into a plural, you must remember that you have to add the letter S to the principal word, as in to the main word. And in this situation, your principal word is teacher. Therefore, you add letter S to teacher and you convert that as teachers. And the word becomes teachers in charge. It is not teacher in charges. It is going to be a huge blunder if you are going to if you were to say that as teacher in charges. It is not teacher in charges, it is teachers in charge. Remember, when it is about converting a compound noun into a plural, you will have to add the letter S to the principal word. That is the main word or the first word. The same rule applies to all the other compound nouns which are over here. Passerby becomes passers-by. Commander-in-chief becomes commanders-in-chief. Daughter-in-law becomes daughters-in-law. Sister-in-law becomes sisters-in-law. Looker-on becomes lookers-on. Remember, again, not at the end, but to the principal word is where you add your letter S. So the next one is you have a few nouns ending with letter S already, but just because they end with letter S doesn't mean that they are plural nouns. They are in fact your singular nouns, like news, physics, mathematics, billiards, measles, mumps, economics. Yes, of course, they end with letter S, but just because they end with letter S doesn't mean that they are plural nouns. They are singular nouns. So be mindful of these errors and be careful when you are using them in your language. Well, thank you very much for watching, and do remember to comment below, and also remember to subscribe, and also remember to hit that bell icon. And also remember the most important thing, that is to type that TA01 as your code while you are buying the subscription, because that is going to get you extra 10% off discount, which is really, 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 really important for you to remember. One last thing, join our Telegram group for latest updates on our upcoming videos. Until then, stay safe, stay kind. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.